Sherry has followed this script for years because she loved that title. She was like, this is a title that people will respond to.
I met Dennis Kayo at a CAPE screenwriting contest reading. CAPE is the Coalition of Asian Pacifics in Entertainment, and he had won the TV section of the screenwriting contest. So and I was impressed, and I basically said, hey, you know, let's go to lunch, what else you got? And he showed me How to Make Love to a Woman, and I really, really liked it.
You just said he showed me how to make love to a woman, and I really liked it.
You know, how do we get this going? Who's the best person for the job? And how are we going to do it for a price? I talked to Adam Lawson, who I knew very well and worked with on another movie, Laboo, and thought, you know, let me bring Adam on board as a partner. And he had produced a lot of music videos, and he came to me saying, you know, let's go with Scott Culver.
Adam's the type of guy that you would follow pretty much anywhere. So when he says he's going to move a mountain, he moves it.
It's a very complicated choice as a producer because you're going to bring on somebody to your movie that they're going to make it. They're actually going to take over and actually have the true responsibility for the quality of the picture. And that was probably one of the best choices we made over the entire journey. Of the thousands of choices made was Scott Culver. And then the choices that he made daily and throughout the production, and his reliability and his ability to work with these sometimes with actors that were sometimes difficult or up and down, and that was maybe the one comforting thing on those days that were impossible, is you knew that Scott was going to come through.
It's great with the actors, got terrific performances out of everyone, and was just a generally really nice person and responsible, which is kind of hard to get in an artist, actually. You'd be surprised.
I mean, when I think about this film, the humor of it, I give to Scott. The first thing was securing a casting director, and we had sort of the combination of trying to get maybe a more qualified casting director than we deserved or could pay for.
So Terry Taylor was our casting director on the picture, and she did a phenomenal job of presenting us several different options for casting that were just dead on. Kirk Fox, Kristen Ritter.
Hello, hi. Did you get all that?
She even threw us a couple curveballs, like Nora Kirkpatrick, who ended up just being phenomenal in the picture. Nora actually came in to read for Vanny, which was the other girlfriend role, and we were blown away. We ended up kind of rewriting her character for her because her read was originally so insane. Josh Myers was another great addition to the cast. Such a consummate professional on set. Always there to give reads to, you know, off-camera eye lines, super on top of his game every day, came prepared, had tons of different ideas to pitch me for each scene, so I couldn't be more happy with Josh.
Everybody was fun to work with, but there's something special about Eugene. He is a really fun guy, really sweet guy, a great actor too. My daughter came to set one day to play, and he put on lipstick for her and let her put on makeup and dress him up like a girl and paraded him around the set. That takes a large set to do something like that, so he was a lot of fun to work with.
It was an honor to work with James Hong. He's been around for longer than most of us have been alive, and he sort of happily took the role of the priest.
Empty your mind of all thoughts.
God. One of the things that I felt really lucky we got in this picture was Ian Somerhalder joined the picture, and he had come by a way of a producer I'd worked with in the past named Michael Pierce, who was a friend of his. He brought a sort of a whole lifting to the picture, just when he was on set and just the caliber of his performance and etc.
Lindsay's got this great energy to her, and it kind of carries over on set as well as off set. So she's got this confidence that she knows what she's doing in life. She's going and getting it, just like Nomi in the movie. She's chasing a dream. So when I first met Lindsay, I was immediately drawn to that energy.
Terry was especially instrumental in getting us Ken Jeong, who at the time was sort of an unknown. He had come out maybe in Knocked Up, but that's it. He had his hilarious viral video on, and we all loved that, and really took Terry's word for it that he was going to break big.
You're always shooting at me at this awful angle. You're just like shooting up my nose. I like that one better. Stop it.
They know about the angles, so don't try to slip anything past them.
What?
I'll just slip that past her.
I'll just slip that past.
What did you just say?
Words to live by. You know, like they're it's the
serious.
truth. Yeah. Yeah. Check that out, girls. Yeah. Jesus.
Okay, sorry, man.
Jesus.
You want to get
What
in
is
on
he
this?
doing?
You want to get in on this?
No.
Turn it around. Let's see that
No.
little butt.
Okay, I do.
See that little butt.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Probably the coolest thing that I got to do, which the audience will never get to see unless it gets stuck in this footage right now, was painting two beautiful women for the club scene. And I had to spend about 6 hours. First of all, I had to get up at like, 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, which is totally not what executive producers should have to do on movies, and basically paint these two girls from head to toe. One was fire and one was like a beautiful sky, and didn't make the cut. So even when you're at the top of the food chain, you still end up on the cutting room floor. Do we have those girls' numbers, by the way? Am I even still the executive producer of this film, or did that get cut too? I don't even know.
Action! Are you going to get up there on the camera or no?
No, it's locked off. The dive is closed. I'm standing here. It's weird.
So we're going to be cutting edges, but kind of done.
Once that tingle goes and goes and goes, it's like a windmill that's spun out of control, and eventually it's chopping people's heads off.
Gold. Gold, 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 gold.
Now, the opening credit sequence of the film, as it was scripted, was flawed. Well, this is just the opening credit sequence. We'll certainly come up with a better idea. And it got to the end of the shoot, and I was also ADing the movie at the same time as producing it. And so I thought, oh, well, here's my secret to not having that opening credit sequence is I won't schedule it.
Yeah, well, Scott came up with the idea of having all of these submissions to the record label, and they're going through them, and all of the different items to try and entice the record label have the credits on them. At first, it was like, oh, we could keep it simple, and it could just be like names on envelopes or CD covers, but there's a lot of credits in the opening of a movie, and to keep it really moving and interesting, the idea started to grow. But we did the chocolate guitar. That was a little intense. And then the panties that Pax wore. That's after they were worn, no one wanted to deal with them, so they may still be on the set. Like I don't think there was enough hazmat equipment to get anyone to actually touch them and get rid of them.
All practical location shoot, all in Los Angeles, all in 19 days.
Because of the budget constraints, we ended up carrying a generator only, I think, 2 days out of the entire production. And I had to pick wisely with those two. So I chose the internet promotions party because we had a lot of overhead rigging and a lot of lighting in that room, and also the Long Beach Airport because we obviously had to power everything ourselves. So the majority of the film was shot with China balls and a couple of 1200 HMIs and mirrors, which actually look great. Mirrors are wonderful things.
Everything was physical location. We had about 70 locations. We were moving every single day. Sometimes 2 company moves a day.
Adam never stops. He never sleeps. He never stops working out. He's unbelievable.
Adam is a total ball of energy.
What I need for this shot here, guys, is I need Josh in the foreground, Andrew poking around the corner. We'll get one wide, like a 2-shot, and then we'll swing a lens to Volpe.
So instead of just barking orders and saying, we need to have this done now, he's really rallying the troops, and he's just a great support system for everyone on set.
But he's also a great guy at the same time, and it's rare to see somebody produce a film and also first AD it. And he does it like without even thinking about it. It's just second nature to him. He's that involved in the picture.
All right, what have they done to you, Travis?
I've got a blister and I'm trying to pop it because it's bugging me. But it hurts so much to try to pop it. I can't do it. Can't do it. I don't like the pain.
It was just
Oh, for the camera. I was like, why'd you do that?
Yeah, I put makeup on. What?
Go ahead and do the. Okay, guys. Okay, good.
The sequence where we shot Seosin up on the stage, that we got that location through a caterer who ended up poisoning the crew.
About midway through the production, some of the crew members got food poisoning, and Scott Culver was one of them. I saw kind of a crowd gathering in the distance, so I went around there, and then I saw Scott wrapped in a green towel, all wet, throwing up in a trash can. And Adam Lawson telling everybody to stay back, just stay back.
I don't know what to say.
We all went through quite a bit, but Scott went through the most.
And we got that location through that contact, but by the time we got to shooting at that location, I'd since fired him. So it was somewhat awkward being in that location because they were kind of out to get us, and we couldn't plug into the walls, and we couldn't turn the water on, and they called the police on us. So then the police showed up and were like, yeah, somebody here at this venue was complaining that you were stealing their water. And then, of course, the person from the venue wouldn't come out to meet the police, and so I don't even know what. And so the police ultimately just left because they're like, I don't even know what this is.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. Whoop, sorry there. I tripped you.
Shooting this movie in 19 days was tough. We had a great crew, which included Scott as our leader and Dallas Sterling, too, as our DP, who really moved us around quickly. I think another thing with production is we shot in the summer, so it was really hot.
The heat that summer was unbearable.
Hi. Do you come here often? Get your number later.
Scott and I were in a scene in the background. I don't know if anyone will notice in the movie, but in that warehouse where it was just like at least 110, 115 degrees.
Let's go in for more.
Cut.
Well, actually, production on this show was pretty smooth. There were hiccups here and there and little disasters.
And when we were shooting the sequence in the end of the picture, when Josh comes to get Kristen and it's raining and there's a taxi cab, we had these rain towers set up down the alley, and of course, somebody is walking along and hits the hose that's feeding it with water, and the rain tower takes a crash, nearly kills somebody. I now actually have a scar here, if you can see, on my shoulder.
We were shooting on the worst paved road. I think they were doing construction on the road with jackhammers while we were driving by, but it was just terrible.
I'm down there on the camera holding on to it.
I don't know how they were even doing their dialogue. They were like, "So Nomi, we're gonna go to this party." So one of the aspects of shooting independent films is, kind of beg, borrow, and steal. And one of the things we were doing was stealing a couple shots of Los Angeles. We're driving around Adam, our producer's Honda Element, with the back open and this big 35mm rig back there, and we're all sitting on little camera cases. And so we're just popping off shots around LA. And we decide we're gonna go over to Santa Monica and get some shots over there. So we hop on the freeway and we're cruising down the freeway. And sure enough, Highway Patrol pulls us over and listens to us try to tell a story about how we were just transporting the camera with it all put together like this. I paid for my seatbelt ticket right away. Dallas waited about 8 months until it was a little over $1,000, I believe.
Post-production did not go exactly as planned. When I was initially doing the budget with Sherry, her and I were talking about how we were going to finish this film. I said, listen, I've got this idea. I've got this guy in this basement with these computers, and I think I can save us a bunch of money and put the money in front of the camera. And she's like, Adam, are you sure? And I'm like, trust me. She would have been wise to not. We finished the cut, which Scott did a great job with. And then when it came to onlining, it crashed. The hard drives burned out and fried in this little basement post-process, and we lost the movie. Scott and I and the other person who was working on it, the basement man, we had all come there and we had done the onlining ourselves, literally a tape at a time, finding all the in and out points. And we tried to test it again, and it wasn't working again. And we were at the end of the shoot, and we were out of money, and the movie wasn't finished. So I had a friend who was directing a film, and their line producer had fallen out. And he said, Adam, if you come line produce this film for me, I'll do, because he owned a pretty elaborate post house, not a basement version with your buddy. And so I had to go produce another movie to get him to pay back essentially the post house so we could finish this film. So that was unadvisable. Now, the basement man